Alright, if you're tuning into this video, then you most likely were not here on Friday, Sock Hop Day. So you have already completed the part of a whole set lesson, which is in Schoology. We started this paper on Friday, and today is Monday, so a lot of you are going to be finishing this. But if you were absent Friday, or you find yourself coming back to school and you missed Monday, this video is for you. So the very first thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and number these so that we're all talking about the same numbers. So I'm just going to go ahead and label these 1 through 6. And then I'm going to start with number 1. And so whenever we have groups of a fraction, this action that we're talking about is going to be just. So we're going to go ahead and label this just now. When we have a fraction, when we have a part of a whole set or a whole number, that's going to be part of, and I told you Friday I would call this WS, whole set. So when I think about number 3, does number 3 look a lot like number 1, or does it look a lot like number 2? That's right, boys and girls. Number 3 looks like a lot like number 1, so it is also the just action. That's important because if I need help by looking at some pictures, I want to go and look at the joining equal sets pictures. Number 4 is, again, part of a whole set, because we have the fraction first, then the whole number. Number 5, we have a whole number times a fraction, so that's joining equal sets. And then number 6 is part of a whole set. So boys and girls, on Friday, since we had already completed the lesson part of a whole set, we decided to start with number 4 first. So if you will, take your pencil and go ahead and circle that denominator. That denominator is 4, and so that's where we're going to start. We want to take our whole picture and we want to think about cutting it into 4 equal pieces. So if I cut this vertically, I'm able to get 4 pieces. If I were to cut it horizontally, I would have the top and the bottom. That would be 2 equal pieces, which is not what we want. So I'm going to label these 1/4 of the group, 2/4 of the group, 3/4 of the group, and 4/4 of the group. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to think about shading 3/4 of the group of 8, because there's 8 tiles here. So I'm going to shade in all of the 1/4 group. I'm going to shade in all of the 2/4 group and all of the 3/4 group. And notice I have whole tiles that I'm shading. I don't have fraction pieces, I have whole tiles. So I'm going to label those. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles. So my answer for this is going to be 6 pieces. So I can get my answer through my picture. Now during the lesson, we also talked about 2 other ways you could get the answer. One of those being part over total, and the other one being the multiplication. So I'm just going to draw a little dotted line so I can show and pick one of the ways that works best for me. So the one way would be using that part over total, so 3/4 is what we're talking about. So every time I have 4 tiles, 3 would be shaded. But I don't have 4 tiles here, I have 8 tiles. So I need to extend this denominator, the total amount, to the number 8. And if I double the number 4, I get the answer 8. So if I double the denominator by 2, I have to also double the numerator by 2, and I would get 6. And so my answer is not 6/8, but when I have 8 tiles, 6 of them were part of that group. So remember, we want to make sure that we understand that this is not a fraction, that this is the answer, 6 whole pieces. If we choose to do the multiplication, that's 3/4 times 8. Well, remember, we want to put the number 8 over the number 1, 8 on top of 1, because we're talking about a whole group. So then we just simply multiply numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator, and we get 24/4. And that answer will also give us 6 pieces. So boys and girls, I was able to get the answer 6, 3 different ways. You need to make sure that you understand and that you choose a way that works best for you.